I'm going to conquer the world. I'm going to destroy everything.
No, you're not. Now come here.
No, leave me alone.
No, you know that you're not quite yourself when you don't have your daily dose of Energon.
No, I don't. No.
Good. There, do you feel better? Yes, I feel much better. Thank you. Finally. If you don't know who this is, folks, it is the Transformers Robots in Disguise Combiner Force Warrior Class Blast Wave. It's not Bludgeon, it's the Autobot Blast Wave. And we're going to look at him in the latest GotBot True review. Hey guys, welcome back to the channel. I am your host, Dennis Moulton, aka GotBot. As always, like, comment, subscribe, share. Check out Machinery Man, The Everything Factor, and me everywhere. And have a look at Universal Collision. That series up and going as we speak. You saw there in the beginning, I kind of included this guy. And I guess I should take this back slightly again. This is an older Revenge of the Fallen version of Bludgeon, who I looked at recently in episode, I believe, 231. And before that, in 230, I had looked at just terrible little Beast Hunter Cyberverse Bludgeon and said, hey, don't get that. Either go back in time and get this, or you could wait for the eventual repaint of Blast Wave to come out. And honestly, both of these figures that I have here in front of you are really good. Like I said, I already looked at this guy, so we'll take him out. Some people have asked, am I going to look at the entire Wave 1 for Combiner Force? I'm not going to look at the entire Wave 1. I looked at Starscream when he was originally released ever so long ago in episode, I believe, 126, and I had such high hopes for him and was so disappointed. If you're wondering why, hey, check that out. It's a figure that should have been really good and just wasn't. I have not looked at the Megatronus use of this mold, so this is my first handling of it. I am not really going to look at the Alpine Drift, though I think that's probably the best paint scheme for that mold. And Stormshot, man, is that thing great. But we'll talk about him another time. Let's focus on this guy for now. So where do we begin? Paint apps. Well, to do the paint apps for this guy, because he hasn't appeared in the program, I'm going to do something a little bit different. I'm going to take him out of it for a moment, and I'm going to bring in his package art. And I guess, wow, I feel like I'm doing a lot of moving here. This is what we have on the package art. Take notice that he has a blue crest up on his head. He has some pinkish detailing. His hands are green with a little bit of gray, like the fingers and knuckles are green. The rest of the hand is gray. His thighs are also green. A couple of little yellow details down on his abdomen section. And up top right here, it doesn't look like two guns are sticking up. It looks like it's only one. So that's kind of what I'm going to compare this guy to for accuracy. Hopefully we will see him in season 3 of the series. We shall see. And here he is, kind of close up again. So for paint apps, I think that what they did here is they looked at it and said, okay, Bludgeon is basically going to be, you know, orange and green. We all know that. So whatever is going to be orange on Bludgeon, we're just going to make blue on this guy. And whatever is going to be green on Bludgeon, we'll keep green on this guy. That's what I think was the logic behind it, and I see it. I do, I understand it. But we are missing paint apps on the hips. The hands are blue here, so that's not correct. His head, is it's a nice head sculpt. Definitely more bludgeon, not quite what we have on the package, and we have a green crest instead of a blue crest. As such, I'm going to say, yeah, I can kind of see what it's intended to be for the character. It's not quite right. I'm going to give his paint apps about a 6.5. You know, it is what it is. About a 6.5, not the strongest start. That being said, this is the way he comes in a package. All stock photography I've seen, including what's on the back of the package, has these two guns pointed up this way. Not down on his back, but I guess they were down for the packaging. So they should be up. Like that. They should be up and look like that. He's a fine tank. It'd be nice if the, I guess, turret itself could kind of angle up, but the guns can sort of angle up, so I can forgive it. Yeah, so he's a fine tank. In this mode, the head can go left and right. It can look up, but it kind of puts the head back in his body. It can not really look down. He does have a waist swivel, which is nice. The arms can go way out to the side, which is also nice. They can go all the way around. We have a 90-degree at the elbow. We have a bicep swivel. Nothing, I don't think, at the wrist. No, nothing at the wrist. The back of his arms is a kind of hollow. I don't really notice it, so I don't really care. This whole chest section is, I guess, a fake front to the tank because we have the real front back right here. But again, I'm okay with that. The legs can go back about that far because of the chunk on the back, but they can go way forward. We have a nice deep knee bend, a little over 90 degrees to be honest with you, so I think that's pretty fantastic. Thigh swivel, legs can go way out all the way to the side, and anything at the toes? No, not really. So that's kind of what you have. That being said, if you want to move his arms, a lot of times these shoulder chunks do get caught up on the little, I don't know, corner blue pieces up there. That being said, they can ratchet out of the way a little bit for that, which is okay. When you do ratchet them out, however, you take away some of the outward mobility. So you do have to ratchet it up again if you want full extension. It's a minor gripe, but it's a gripe just because stuff kind of knocks into each other. He comes with, as well, get this out. He comes with this, and he stands pretty solidly actually, although he's not doing it there at the moment. There you go. He comes with this pretty cool sword. You know, it's a sword, has a green handle. Nice silver on the blade though. I really do sort of dig that. And it has a 5mm peg on the side. He doesn't really have a hilt for it up on his hip. I looked for somewhere on the back and I didn't really find a place to put it in, but on his knee, on both sides, you could put it in there. Now, of course, when he bends his knee, it means the sword's going to bend with it. But I think it works. I think it works for storage if you don't want it in his hand. It'd be nice if it was a little higher, but you know, I'll kind of take what I get when I get it and sort of be happy with that. That being said, he can do most things that I want him to do. Do I think he's quite as good as the ROTF bludgeon? The ROTF bludgeon has more limits in his legs. He has better arm articulation. This guy has a couple of little issues with the arms, ever so slight as they may be, to be honest with you. Very, very slight. But overall, I would say that his articulation is it's a solid 8.5. It's a pretty good entry, maybe even a 9, because he does have the waist. About all he's missing are ankle tilts, and if you don't care about that like me, then it's no big deal. So we have not the best for paint apps. We have pretty good for articulation. He's certainly playable, no doubt about it. Definitely playable. Right now, this guy overall is scoring probably about a 7.5 or an 8 on the whole. Let's get into transformation and see how that affects him. He's doing pretty well. We'll take this off. I should also point out before I go into it, I guess, you can take the double cannons out, and they too have a 5mm peg that can, if I can get it, and I don't know why it's not working with me here now. Why is that not working with me? I'm sure I was able to go into his hand. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe that can't go in his hand. Can it go in the other hand? There we go. I don't know why it went in this hand and not the other one, but anyway, there we go. It can go in his hand, no problem. You can remove it for transformation. You sure don't need to. And as such, I'm not going to. Let's put that back. And by the way, it goes down. There's a little crevice in right here. And that 5mm peg just goes down into that little crevice like that. So we'll jump into the transformation for this guy now. Straighten out his arms completely, and actually I guess straighten out his arms, turn them, and bring them up. There's his arms largely done. Flip down that front piece, and his head flips back. Don't try and bring it forward, it will not flip forward. The head needs to flip back into the body. Take these arm pieces now and turn them so that what you have kind of folded up here is what's facing out. The gray is what's facing out. On those ratchets, once you have that done, once you have that done, you bring these forward. Now you'll notice that they're not quite together. I should explain this again, I guess. You face them forward. I thought they had to go up over his head. They do not. That is a mistake on my part to even think that. You will break it. They come forward to where his chest was. You'll notice that they're not quite together. Now, as you bring them forward, you'll notice that there's a hole here and a blue peg over here by the wrist. There's a gray peg on the inner bicep. There's a gray hole on this inner bicep. As you bring these in, those ratchets that were in the shoulders, ratchet in once, and then you can peg those together, just like that. Take these guns and face them down, and this is your tank turret done. There it is. Now you got to deal with those legs. The legs come up on the side, and you're going to, basically do the splits with them, and they're going to come forward. When they come forward, there's a little blue tab here and a little blue tab here on either side of that face piece. It goes into a black slot here and a black slot over here. So we bring this forward and we tab it on, and we bring this one forward and we do the same thing, getting those up out of the way. We tab it on, and that's what we have so far. Next, come to his knees. Open that piece back and do the same on the other side. Take that blue section, I guess we'll call it, and flip it all the way back. And now you will pull out his foot and shin, like that. And the foot and shin are going to come all the way to the back and go in around this green square. Foot and shin out again, all the way to the back around that green square. And straightening that up. There you go, a blast wave done in his tank mode. If you want, there is a... Oh, and I did make a slight error here, but I can fix this, no problem. Don't forget to do this. I mentioned that you flip his head back, and you do flip his head back, but before you do it, turn the head around for a very important reason. Now flip the head in and close up those arms again. If you didn't flip the head in, his face would be right here. You would see it sticking up right there. The other reason is because there is a 5mm slot in the back of his head, and that's where you place the sword in this mode. And it sticks out right there. He has a little green wheel here, 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 and here. He rolls well, quite well actually. The turret section can go all the way around, well, it can go all the way around. It cannot angle up, but you can angle the guns themselves up, so I think that's forgivable, to be honest with you. He's pretty great to be perfectly upfront. He's pretty great. I really do enjoy him. The arm sections here were the front of Megatronus. That's my understanding, and his arm cannon kind of filled in this section here. So you do sort of see fists here, but they're on the back of the tank, and I don't really think you notice it. Overall, he has so many strengths that doesn't bother me. Despite my mix-up by not turning the head around, he transforms easily. Even the little ratchets here are not hard to push in. I don't think kids or collectors or anyone is going to have any trouble with it. I think his transformation is, again, it's a solid 9. I think overall this guy is probably about an 8.5. It's a great figure. I've really been enjoying the RID line to my shock and amazement, and this guy is no different. I wasn't going to get him, but since I have, a good version of Bludgeon already, and I've never had this mold, I figured, hey, why not? Why not? And so very glad that I did. Believe it or not, though he's a pre-paint, we'll call it, a pre-paint, I think he's great. And having him as Autobot, he's a bit of a strange looking Autobot, but you know what? I'll learn to dig it. Anyway, let me know what you think of this guy. Me, I'm really impressed. And as always, I thank you for giving me some of your valuable time, and I look forward to the next time that you and I get together for another visit right here inside the videos.